terms of age. These are young people. So we're faced with a different kind of generation. We have now to look at knowledge creation. So we can't be dependent anymore on learning. We have to move now to creating. So knowledge has to be created. We can't wait anymore for things to happen. We have to be the creators of knowledge. And of course, we have to speak the language of the now. We can't ask children anymore, what do you want to be when you become X age? We can't ask our children what you want to be when you grow up. Because by the time they grow up, those jobs won't exist. Those jobs won't exist. They will be defining their own jobs. They will be redefining the jobs that we now hold dear. They will be the ones who will be charting our future. And so we really have to look at ourselves and how we're preparing them. So how can school leadership respond to the fourth industrial revolution? We need not be afraid. We need not be frightened. We need not be worried or bothered. We just need to act. So the first thing is that we have to switch to smart leadership. The same way we have smart factories, smartphones, smart organizations, we have to move to smart leadership. And what is smart leadership? It is leadership that is able to see the big picture and the small details simultaneously. So we can no longer afford a rapid shift from one to the other. We have to be able to look at the big deals and the small things at the same time. We have to move to a more human kind of leadership. And it's such an irony because we're moving into the Internet of Things. But the leadership that is required to carry this generation is not automated leadership. We have to switch now from being egotistic to understanding. We have to move away from the command and control because everybody is capable. So we are not in a space anymore where we can lord knowledge over people because everybody is capable. When you look at the upskilling and the retooling that is taking place by this very same JCTE, just the other day, how many graduated, Melanie, from the CAP program? 3,200. Everybody is being qualified. So leadership now has to switch from command and control to coaching. We have to understand individuals and the talents that they come with. We're moving from capitalism to talentism. It is the individuals who have the skills and the capabilities and the competencies who will survive. It's no longer the many degrees. Moving on. We have to move from the hierarchical approach of leadership to manage in this fourth industrial revolution. We have to have that kind of capacity to trust people and to open up the spaces for innovation to happen. We can no longer have individuals lined up to do the bidding whilst A and B are at the top. We can't have C lined up to do the bidding anymore. We have to move to a more web-like approach where the leadership is accessible and people are able to collaborate and communicate and their thoughts and their ideas are heard. Because once I have the competencies and the skills, there is space for me in this universe. So you can no longer hold on to people in workspaces by dangling carrots over their heads of salary. Because that means nothing at all. Because the spaces are so wide. We are living in a boundaryless and borderless world. So in order to keep our people in the workspaces and to motivate them, we have to open up to their ideas and their thought processes. So the hierarchical approach that we are used to will not work. And if we continue along that line, we are going to become the illiterate of the future. Because our young people will simply pass us by. Could we move on? We either will collaborate or die. It is simple. We cannot be insular. We have to be broad-based. So no one man can hug any show anymore because nobody is brighter than anybody. So we have to bring people into our circle, into our spheres. We have to network. We have to open up opportunities, step into spaces, and recognize the skills and competencies that everybody brings to the table. As a school, if you're a Denby High, if you're a Rusty's High, you can no longer operate on your own. You need to bring in the business community. You need to bring in academia, the universities. You need to bring in industry. You have to have the little man down the road who is selling this and that as part of your leadership team, as part of your management team. You have to open up the space because these are the people of the future. Schools cannot operate anymore on a single curriculum. It has to open up itself to other ways of learning and thinking. Also, innovation can be taught. There's no such thing about anybody being born innovative or born creative. And we have to understand that quickly, moving into the fourth industrial revolution. Otherwise, it will pass us by. Innovation can be taught in schools. Children can be taught how to be creative. It takes a leader and a set of teachers who are willing to see children fail, and it's not a problem. We have to be open up to failing, because no innovation can happen without failure. It is impossible. So that's the mindset that we have to get in for the fourth industrial revolution, being vulnerable and open to failure. It's no rocket science. It's nothing that we have to go quickly learn any digital great coding to surviving. It's a shift in our leadership approaches. Could we move on quickly? For sure. And of course, there has to be digital technology and fluency. The same way running an organization, you require a certain degree of financial acumen. You can't be a principal and you don't understand the books because you're managing the bursa. It's the same way you have to be the digital leader in your school. So you can't be shying away from the technology. You can't have students looking at you as if you don't know anything. You have to get yourselves into their spaces and help them, let them teach you. You have to be at the same level as a financial manager that's a novice dealing with the digital spaces in your schools. You have to be the champion and the leader of technology. And certainly, the National College has been responding to the fourth industrial revolution. I said before that we were the very first organization to actually host a webinar, big webinar, many views across the world. People from India, Asia, Malaysia, Canada, tuning in to hear Dr. McLean and those individuals, Erica Simmons from Caribbean Maritime University, speak about the implications of the fourth industrial revolution. So we're right there. We're also supporting, go back to that, the new curriculum. The new curriculum is on that path. When we take a critical look at where we're going with that curriculum, critical thinking, that's what it will take to master the fourth industrial revolution. It's no longer rote learning, and we have been supporting that. We have been responding to the mismatch of the current talent and future strategies. And so our programs are so designed to tease out the strategic leadership of our principals. We are infusing technology in everything that we do because we have to be on top of our game where that is concerned. And certainly you can advance the last slide. We are now into partnerships. When you look at one college on that projector and see the number of individuals that we partner with in order to be the way we are, because we recognize that you either collaborate or die. So those are the things that we have been doing to respond to the fourth industrial revolution. And want you to know that it is not rocket science. We're also in the blue ocean shift of leadership. Recognize that we have to capitalize on our non-customers. We have to do the journey mapping. We have to look at the pain points and find out where people are so we can meet them where they are. We are into leapfrogging, harnessing innovation to rapidly accelerate educational progress. So we are right there. And lastly, our training models focus on the 70-20-10, where 10% of the learning is face-to-face, 20% is the collaboration with your colleagues, and the next 70% is on the job, because that is what the world looks like. So colleagues, thank you. Looking forward to hearing from you and to sharing even more with you. Thank you.